Huawei has been steadily increasing its focus on making premium smartphones that can challenge the dominance of both Apple and Samsung in the high-end of the smartphone market. And the company's latest flagship is the Honor P20 Pro, which should be seen as the answer to both Apple's iPhone X and Samsung's Galaxy S9 Plus. It seemingly has it all: good looks, fast processor, long battery life, and incredible triple Leica camera setup. I have been using the P20 Pro for a while now, and here's what I think about the phone. Let's talk about the design first. After Apple released the iPhone X last year, the notch design has become a sort of trend. From Oppo to Vivo, almost all Android manufacturers have incorporated a notch into their phones, and Huawei is no exception. The P20 Pro has a small notch above the display. Fortunately, there's an option to hide it. The phone has a small chin on the bottom with the home button on it. So with the notch hidden, the phone looks more symmetrical and more like a Samsung Galaxy S9. The Huawei P20 Pro feels very much like a premium phone. The back of the phone has a metallic high gloss finish with a mirror-like shine. But the downside is that it's quite slippery and prone to fingerprint smudges. It's worth noting that while the phone has a glass back, it does not support wireless charging, unlike the iPhone X and Galaxy S9 Plus. Huawei has launched the P20 Pro in midnight blue color option in India. Twilight is probably the most interesting color, but that option is not coming to India anytime soon. Let's talk about the display now. The P20 Pro has a 6.1-inch Full HD Plus OLED display with an aspect ratio of 18:7:9. The display is very bright with deep black and white viewing angles, but it's not bright as the Galaxy S9 Plus AMOLED display. Talking about the performance, the Huawei P20 Pro is indeed a powerful smartphone. It is powered by a Kirin 970 octa-core processor coupled with 6GB RAM and 128GB internal memory. However, a microSD card slot is missing from the Huawei P20 Pro. The P20 Pro feels snappy and fast. Apps load much faster, and I was able to run all graphic-intensive games, be it Asphalt 8 or Real Racing 3. Despite its slim size, the P20 Pro is armed with a massive 4000 mAh battery. Most flagship smartphones in its class don't even last a day. The P20 Pro, however, is an exception that managed to last 1.5 days on a single charge. The P20 Pro is running on Android Oreo 8.1 with Huawei's EMUI 8.1 skin on top of it. Even though the UI has been refined, but I still feel that there's a lot of polishing to be done. But let's get to the star attraction of the P20 Pro, and that remains the camera. Huawei has been heavily marketing the P20 Pro as a professional camera phone. The P20 Pro is the world's first smartphone to feature triple camera setup, and that's mind-boggling. The main camera has a 40-megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture. Then there's a 20-megapixel monochrome sensor with f1.6 aperture. The telephoto camera has an 8-megapixel sensor with f2.4 aperture. The telephoto lens provides 3x optical zoom. That means it shoots at 3 times the focal length of the main camera. The P20 Pro also offers a 5x hybrid zoom. You can choose between 40-megapixel and 10-megapixel camera resolutions on the device. The default camera mode is 10 megapixel. Huawei P20 Pro can capture really good shots regardless of conditions. This is the best camera smartphone I've ever used so far. Perhaps the highlight of the P20 Pro is the way it handles night shots, and there's a mode for that which lets you capture photos in low light that would otherwise be impossible without a tripod and post-processing. And for selfies, there's a 24-megapixel shooter with f2.0 aperture. The selfie camera is precise and works well in low light. P20 Pro can shoot videos in 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. There's a super slow motion mode as well, like the one seen on the Galaxy S9 Plus. The P20 Pro is a well-crafted smartphone with a slim and light build that looks just as good as any other smartphone out there. It has a stunning OLED display, an IP67 build, and still manages to pack in a 4000 mAh battery. And yes, a camera that's far better than the iPhone X and Galaxy S9 Plus. At Rs 64,999, the Huawei P20 Pro has been priced at par with the Galaxy S9 Plus, but will cost significantly cheaper than the iPhone X. If you're interested in owning the best camera smartphone, your choice is not only limited to Apple and Samsung. I believe it's time to pay closer attention to Huawei.